Welcome. My name is Marcus Carlson, the Bourbon Preacher, and today I would like to talk to you about finishes, flavors, and infusion. One of the rules for bourbon is that you can't actually add anything to it and still call it bourbon. So, where do we see all of these unique kind of flavors or notes in different bourbons? And so, tonight I'm going to tell you a bit about that. So first, we have what I would call flavoring. When you add a flavor to a bourbon or to a whiskey, it is a whiskey. And so this is an example of it. This is Journeyman's Distillery's honey whiskey. Super sweet, really probably something you don't want to drink just straight, maybe over ice, but really more for kind of a cocktail kind of thing. Then you have here two kind of examples of what we call finishing. So this is Short Barrel, one of my favorite distilleries, a short list member. Short Barrel's After Swarm. And so what it is rye whiskey finished in honey casks. And so you can actually finish, even though this is a rye, you can finish bourbon in something and still give it some flavor without adding flavor to it and still call it a bourbon. This is a rye whiskey. This is their new Meadow Foam, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, one of my favorites, kind of finished, is this is a bourbon from Starlight. Starlight, I think, is the best distillery in Indiana, not counting MGP because they're all over the place, not just Indiana. But Starlight is a distillery in Indiana, and this is a store pick. This is bourbon finished in honey barrels. I have beehives, and so I totally get this concept. And I am a sucker for a honey finish. I absolutely love the honey finish in this. And again, this is a store pick from Indiana Liquor Group. Jeff and his crew do amazing picks, but this is one of my favorite. I go through these quite a bit. And then this is what we would call something that's infused. This is from Traverse City in Michigan. This is their barrel proof cherry. It starts as a straight bourbon, but they infuse it with cherry. So they can't technically call this a bourbon, but I will tell you, of all the Michigan pours I've had, this is my absolute favorite. I've had the privilege of doing some picks that were finished. One of my favorite, of course, is Penelope Project X. Those are Penelope bourbons that are finished in something. So one of my favorite is the Maple Brulee, finished in Canadian maple syrup casks, which are bruleed before they put the bourbon in it. There are so many unique kind of finishes out there, and you'll see them with all sorts of bourbons, from Merlot to Zinfandel to cognac to sherry to port, honey, blueberry. There are all sorts of finishes out there. And when it's finished, it's usually only finished for months, not years, like bourbons that are finished for years. And oftentimes these bourbons that are finished, they do tend to be on the younger end. But I will tell you from my experience, the ones that are store picks, which also tend to be higher proof, are absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of Penelope. I think they're the most underrated brand out there for me. And I have a lot of Penelope bottles here on my shelves that are finishes. Havana is one of the well-known one. It's a straight bourbon whiskey finished in both rum casks and maple syrup casks. The Penelope Rio, depending on which one you get, may just be finished in honey or may be finished in honey and amburana. But I actually love to finish my night with a nice, sweet, simple pour that doesn't leave a lot of burn, doesn't keep me tossing and turning at night. And so I will often lean into one of these finishes or one of these infusions. And so I encourage you to check those out. Welcome to a comment and subscribe. We're excited to kind of share this with you, but don't sleep on these. We think that maybe they're too sweet or you don't get the bourbon flavor, but with so many of these you do. And so I encourage you to check these out and give them a try.